Hey folks, welcome to a video supplement for the All-Metal Gothic instructions from Bootstrap Farmer. If you're going through the printed instructions and you come across a QR code, it brings you right to this video in which we give a visual representation on how these hoops go together. We have 3 different sizes, 20 foot wide, 14 foot wide, and 11 foot 4 inches wide. And here's how each one of the parts fits into each other. On the 20 foot Gothic, we start with 2 ground posts that are 20 foot wide. I personally like 20 foot inside to inside. Once the ground posts are set 2 foot in the ground and 2 foot above the ground, the next step on all 3 of the kits is one 36-inch leg extension inserted into each ground post, which will later be attached with 1 foot of the bar sticking up above the ground post. On all 3 of the kits, the next step is the 2 curve pieces. They're 99.5 inch long. One side has a swage in it, which will fit inside of that 36-inch leg extension. You will then use a number 8 self-tapping screw to connect those 2 together, making sure that the head of the screw will face what is going to be the inside of the hoop. And on the 20 foot, the next 2 pieces are 75-inch ridge poles, 3 inches with swag, and that swage will fit down into the open part of the curve. And you will attach those with the same number 8 self-tapping screw, making sure that the head faces the inside of the hoop house. Next is the peak, which is the same peak that we use for all 3 kits. Both ends of the peak have a swedged end that's going to go into the open part of that hoop house extension, which again is the same thing as a ridge pole. And that ridge pole is the same thing that's used in your vertical uprights for your end walls, and that's 1 hoop. The 14 foot is exactly the same, except for instead of a ridge pole at 75 inches overall, you're using a 20 1/4 inch pole that looks like a miniature ridge pole. Open on one end, swagged on the other. The swag is going to go into the curved part, and the open end is going to go into the swagged peak. Remember to fasten all those together with the head of the self-tapping screw on the inside of the hoop. The 11 foot 4 inch wide house is the 2 ground posts, the 2 36-inch extension bars, the 2 curve pieces which go swag down into the open 36-inch extension, finished off with 1 peak. There's no extension bars on the 11 foot 4 inch house. No matter what size you get, the 36-inch extension is going to come 1 foot above a level ground post and will be fastened by a 1/4 inch bolt. And here's a representation of the hoops after first being put into the ground post, and here it is after being leveled out 12 inches above the top of level ground post throughout the house. If you have any questions, you can get a hold of contact at bootstrapfarmer.com or call the 1-800 number, which is 888-406-1982. We answer the phone 7 days a week, 8 a.m. Central to 5 Central. If you're thinking about a hoop house and want to see how we put it together, the link to the instructions is down below. And if you have any other general hoop house questions, we have a full series on our playlist, Hoop House 101 and Hoop House 201. We'll see you next time.